Hi Crafty friend, it's me, Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft, my world stands still. Today I have a very happy announcement. Here is my new collection from Spellbinders called Justine's Farm. It is all BetterPress, which is super exciting because, as you know, or maybe you don't know, I'll tell you now, you can glimmer BetterPress plates. So not only can you press them, but you can glimmer them. I have a Farm Sweet Farm, which is a registration template. Very fun, and it has 4 sentiments. Then I have my sweet little Clover, the cow. Very adorable, and I'm going to be watercoloring Clover later in this video. Then I have the Feathered Friends, which features a rooster, a hen, and a chick with 3 sentiments. They also have dies. And then we have Daisy, my little piggy, so cute. And I just had to go kind of silly with the sentiments on this one. And then a congratulations as well. And then last but not least, we have Cotton Ball, my little lamb, so cute. And this one is all press plates. So let's dive right into watercoloring with Tim Holtz watercolor pencils and my cow here. So I have just simply BetterPressed this out. If you don't know how to BetterPress or you've never seen any of that, be sure to check out my playlist on my channel called BetterPress. And I have lots of videos, and I also have a whole Facebook group dedicated to tips and tricks for BetterPress. My beautiful and creative friend Melanie Smith and I run that together, and we also have live events that happen monthly. So be sure to check out the BetterPress Babes on Facebook as well. I'm going to show you this cow watercolor today, and I'm simply going to take my pencil and just go over the spots where there already is lines. It seems very simple, but this is what works. I'm just taking the color tea dye here, and I'm making a brown color card cow, so maybe like a Jersey cow, but you could also use some grays and black and make maybe more of a heifer style cow. I mean, there's a lot of options when it comes to cows, but the best part about all of these animals is it does not have to be perfect. It can be however the watercolor turns out. You can also press any of these images with Copic friendly paper and Copic friendly ink, and you can Copic color all of these. I'm going to have a bunch of videos on my channel in the next couple weeks, and for a while actually. So be sure to check out the rest of these videos. I'm going to put them all into a playlist. I have a few creative hops that I'm going to be hosting, so a couple giveaways and some fun stuff. So be sure to be on the lookout for those. And the best way to be notified about all of that is to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, which is Stationery by Justine. Now that I've finished coloring in all of the areas where there already is lines, I'm going to go ahead and add just a few very light little elements where there might be a little bit of shadow. So kind of by the muzzle area here, and then just a little on that snout nose area. I'll next grab my next color. By the way, I have all 6 of the watercolor pencils from Tim Holtz. This one is the Aged Mahogany. I really enjoy using these with my press plates. I always, if I'm going to watercolor, I always BetterPress onto watercolor cardstock. It is just what works very well for me. Now this Aged Mahogany is darker than my first color, so I'm just going to deepen the shading where the head would meet the body, and then just some of the areas where there might be a little bit more dark areas, kind of around the eye sockets, under the flower areas, and just kind of in the nose area in general. But I don't want to go too heavy-handed because I want to leave some spots white so it creates that highlighted area. The magic really happens when you add water, so it's also the part that's a little bit scary because you can't always control it. but it is so incredibly fun to watercolor. So I highly recommend it. Not to mention, this whole collection is full of very fun sentiments. Like this one, I heard it's your birthday. And you might be wondering why, but that's so low, because I'm going to put another sentiment on top before, or in between the cow and the I heard it's your birthday. And I'm going to die cut it. Several of the sentiments from my collection have coordinating dies. Not every single one, but some of them that can be mixed and matched. Like the happy birthday you can use with anything. It's not farm related. So anything that is something that you could reuse for something else, like have a beautiful day or wishing you a beautiful day, or the congratulations, I think is what it says. You can go ahead and die cut those out for other situations, but the ones that are farm related are simply the press or glimmer plates. I love the way that this cow is just sporting this crown of flowers. She is a happy girl, and some of the browns that I used in the cow coloring are a little bit red toned, and I think that the brown color, like that aged mahogany, is kind of a reddish color. It looks really pretty with the teal. So I'm going to make the flowers for my little clover here be teal. And I'm just adding color to the center of the flower petals and leaving the edges of them white. Again, I want to create that shadow look and keep the highlighted areas nice and bright. Then I'm going to take faded jeans on the little berry-ish looking sprig and just simply color them in. Nothing fancy. You do not have to be a watercolor expert at all to make these plates turn out beautifully. Then let's grab some greens for coloring all of the rest of my greens. And then, like I said, the magic really starts to happen when you add water. This is Mowed Lawn. By the way, these watercolor pencils coordinate with all of Tim Holtz's ink. So if you wanted to do some ink blending, maybe on another panel with the cow, or if you want to ink blend the edges, you can get the color that perfectly matches and it all will coordinate. And that always makes my heart happy. You can also grab some nesting dies from your stash and die cut out your watercolor panel and layer it onto your card base. I have some really fun projects coming up on my channel. I'm so excited to show you Daisy, my pig, with some of the items from the Just Saying collection, or Just Sayin', which is coming out this February as well. Alright, now I have my water here. Yes, I'm using a sherbet lid because I really don't have a reason. I'm using a sherbet lid for my water, okay? I'm just getting my brush wet and I'm gently adding water onto where I had my pencil. And I am being very careful to not put water onto the white area unless I have a clean brush. So there, it was clean, and then I went into the color. The dark goes into the light, so I want to bring the light, add the water to the light area, and then gently go over the colored area. And now this is kind of a portrait of our little cow here, so I don't want to make a giant body around her, so I'm going to just stop a little bit where my press plate ends. And her little hairs there are so wild and fun. Then I'll move to the nose. I'm going to clean that off so I can get it nice and bright and keep that color of that lightness on the white and go into the color. And yes, sometimes watercolor will keep you on your toes and it will bleed where you don't want it to, and that's just the way it goes. And I find it very fun to just let the watercolor do its thing, and what happens happens. The worst that can happen is it goes all over and then you don't like it, but you can always press out another one. But I I love watercoloring, and that's why I also love BetterPressing. So that's why I wanted to make my whole collection BetterPress, and Spellbinders said, yes, you can do that. We can make that happen with you. So I'm so thankful that Spellbinders is letting that dream of mine come true. I also have a whole nother collection that I put out with Spellbinders in 2023 that's all sporting related. It's called Game Day. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to do that as well. Alright, I'm going to finish off my little cow by adding the last bit of water to the ears and to the horns, and then I'll go into the flower area. But basically, as long as my brush is clean, I'm just adding a little water onto the penciled areas. You can see when I blot off my brush onto that paper towel, there's barely any color coming off, and the water that I have in my sherbet lid is not turning crazy colors. So I'm not blending like crazy with the water. I'm just letting the water move the pencil pigment around a little, and then just letting the paper soak in the color and lock in the brightness. And that's all it is. If you have not tried coloring with watercolor pencils, I highly recommend you try it. I will have my whole collection linked below, and I would love to hear your comments if you have any on the collection in general. I'm just going to go ahead and blot off any extra water before I continue. There's my little flowers. Again, I'm going from the edge of the flower petal into the center to keep that white area white. And sometimes it's just a little brush over, and that's all it takes for the color to activate. And it really takes it from colored penciled looking to stunning watercolor painting. At least in my opinion. So let me know what you think of Clover in the comments. I will go ahead and add the happy birthday sentiment to my card here and then show you the finished project. But like I said before, I'm going to have some hops and some fun things on Instagram and on my Facebook group, Stationery by Justine, and my Facebook group, Stationery Maker Group. So if you get my collection, I would absolutely love to see your makes. So be sure to post those on to my group page and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye, crafty friend.